inside beautiful Toyota Arena here in the Inland Empire. So happy you can join us right here for some MASL action here tonight as the Ontario Fury play host to the visiting Tacoma Stars. The Stars coming off a huge victory at home against the Eastern Conference best in the Florida Tropics, a 4-3 win up at Acesso Showwear Center. And the Ontario Fury playing out of their minds right now to try and inch their way closer to their third Ron Newman Cup playoff berth. A few players to keep an eye on here tonight. Justin Stinson, 26 points, 16 goals. Justin Stinson has been a huge pickup in free agency for the Ontario Fury. And opposing him, Alex Caceres, who's been part of the MASL. He's been part of the Ontario Fury franchise, and he's here anchoring that back line for the Tacoma Stars and head coach player Nick Pereira. Should be a good one here tonight from Toyota Arena. Can't wait to kick this one off here inside in just a few minutes right here live on MASL TV.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents.
Copy.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Live on MASL TV and inside Toyota Arena, my name is Brian Tabaje. A loaded MASL scoreboard brings us to the last kickoff start, but quite possibly the most attractive matchup on tonight's schedule. A thriving Ontario Fury team sitting at 11-9 who is peaking really right at the right time and trying to inch closer to their third Ron Newman Cup playoff berth. But before that can happen, Nick Pereira and his boys are playing for their playoff lives as well, sitting at 8-10 and currently out of the playoff picture as of right now. Tonight's match for Tacoma is absolutely a must-win. They're coming off a huge victory at home against the Florida Tropic, the Eastern Conference best, as Florida did a home-and-home up at Acesso Showwear Center. So glad you can join us right here on MASL TV. Ontario working from right to left in the opening quarter. If you're wondering where their red jerseys are, it is a YMCA jersey night here at Toyota Arena, along with a mascot night as well. Mascots across Southern California will play at the halftime segment here. Inside Toyota Arena, starting lineups for the Ontario Fury: Nestor Hernandez, the rookie Jesus Pacheco, then Thiago Concalves, the captain Israel Cisse, along with Charlie Gonzalez, and of course the two-time MASL goalkeeper of the year in the veteran Chris Toth. As Tacoma Stars in their predominantly white kits working from left to right. Their head coach is player coach Nick Pereira, assistant coaches Adam Becker, Andrew Carlson, and Michael Jennings. For the home team, Ontario Fury, head coach in his third season, and Jimmy Nordberg, assistant coaches in their first season, LeBaron Holloman and Troy McCarroll, along with the equipment manager Kevin Curtin, and the athletic trainer in her first season as well in Jennifer Hawk. First whistle of the game. I mean, these teams are absolutely loaded, not only on the offensive end, but defensively as well. You're talking about veterans on each team that anchor the back lines. Evan McNeely was part of the Ontario Fury roster for about a season and a half and then found his way back home to play for Nick Pereira and the Tacoma Stars. As Uzi Tayu defending there to the far side, and McNeely just steers it wide. First quality shot attempt for the visitors out of Tacoma. and another former Ontario Fury player in Douglas Lima utilizes his goalkeeper in Danny Waltman. Tonight's officials: senior referee Kyle Trimble, referee Rich Grady, assistant referee in Lauren Barnett, and the fourth official is Andy Waller. Waltman sitting at an overall record of 8-9 on the season, a 5.99 goals against average. Nick Pereira defended single-handedly so far against Izzy Cisse. Don't let the height advantage fool you. Nick Pereira against Izzy Cisse. On the break now is Stinson across midfield. Steers it to the far side in Kyrell. Off the boards. And they'll maintain possession here in their attacking third. Just underway here from Ontario, California. You're watching live action right here on MASL TV. And speaking to head coach Jimmy Nordberg pregame, I simply asked, are you going to double up on Nick Pereira? And he said, well, you can't really stop Nick Pereira. You can contain him, but they will not double up, as Uzi and Izzy Cisse will be the main defenders that'll try and contain Nick Pereira as much as possible. Pereira, 42 points on the season, 22 by way of finding the back of the net. And onto the pitch is one of his veteran defenders in Caceres. You look at Caceres, Ramos, and Pereira to really anchor this team against an Ontario Fury team who has a healthy trio of their own. The MSL goals leader in Frank Tayu, along with Justin Stinson, and the veteran of the franchise, leads the franchise in total goals scored in Charlie Gonzalez. That trio against the visiting Tacoma Stars trio should make for an interesting match here tonight. Tacoma still has 5 games remaining on their schedule, including 3 against San Diego, 2 of which are on the road at Pechanga. And then they finish out the season back-to-back home games against the new franchise in the Mesquite Outlaws. Nestor Hernandez tripped up against the near sideboards, whistle there. Charlie Gonzalez, who's had a point in every game this season. The last time he was held pointless was the finale of the regular season last year against Monterey. So not only does Frank Tayu lead the league in total goals scored, he has Stinson and Gonzalez and so many other pieces on this Fury team that play such an important role, contributing to their record so far at 11-9. Remember, it was pretty much a sad picture to really grasp at sitting at 2-7, and then the Fury just went hog wild, plain and simple. It's a 6-game winning streak, and their last 9 of 11 matches have come in the win column, and they've outscored their opponents 81-47, averaging just over 6.5 goals a contest and a plus 21 goal differential. I'd say that's getting the job done absolutely. And oh, by the way, on the kill, 68% are the Ontario Fury. So they're locked and loaded just at the right time, as Topete a little shaken up to the far side after some contact with one of the Tacoma players. Looks like that was Canale. Topete was actually shaken up last contest as well against Milwaukee last week and ultimately stayed in the game. Let's hope this does not relate to what happened last week against the defending champion Milwaukee Wave. So a couple quality attempts each so far in tonight's game. Nobody has found the net here. Scoreless with 9:38 remaining here in the opening quarter. Toth, who had a sequence that was all slated for MASL prime time, the veteran goalkeeper, not only almost scored in the winding last few minutes of that contest against Milwaukee, but had a sequence of 3 saves and then getting the hockey assist, if you will, on Kyrell's highlight finish. And speaking of highlight finishes, to the far side and into the top of the net. Tacoma strike first, and it's 1-0 here in the first quarter. Michael Ramos, the star who found the back of the net, he knows exactly what to do in that instance. I mean, you're talking about a quality finish. Ramos, I mean, there was no real shooting lane there. He created space for himself and beat Chris Toth convincingly, and they lead 1-0. So Ramos finds a net for the 27th time this season and his 40th point. Quality finish from the Tacoma Stars, and they lead here early on in the opening quarter. Waltman now will steer away from pressure. McNeely, like I said, fans traded back to the Tacoma Stars. On the turn and fire, deflected there in the end from Uzi Tayo. Nice size on the back line currently for Ontario and Jeff Hughes and Uzi Tayo. Hughes and Tayo both at 6'1". Frames to have some difficulty getting around, no doubt. Izzy Cisse and Topete back onto the pitch. So a good sign there for you Ontario Fury fans. Johnny Topete back onto the pitch. Pereira deep ball sent in. Debatable if that was a handball. Cisse says, no matter what, I'm going to D this guy up as best as possible. And they steered all the way back to Caceres. Looks like away from the ball. And a blue card shown here from the referees. Senior referee is Kyle Trimble on the pitch. Directing Izzy Cisse to head to the penalty box here. So we'll wait for the official calls. A 2-minute minor penalty. Potentially contact above the shoulders. So it is contact above the shoulders officially. So they'll play a man short here, but on the kill, Ontario so far this season, 68% on the kill. So they'll have to do even better than that to make sure this score remains at 1-0 Tacoma. From Toyota Arena, 7:55 remaining here in the opening quarter of play. It's 1-0 Tacoma.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
On the kill, Maicon de Abreu, Charlie Gonzalez, Nestor Hernandez, and Uzi Tayo. On the power play for Tacoma, Nick Pereira, Michael Ramos, Evan McNeely, and that deflection off of Nestor Hernandez nearly got in. Caceres on the power play as well. So you see the replay here. Got to keep your head on a swivel in the indoor game. Thankfully, that hopped up and out of bounds. Corner kick now and a restart for Tacoma. Deflection just wide. Pereira and Caceres work to the near glass. On the power play is Tacoma. First clearance from Maicon. Not deep enough to get any switch on the kill for Ontario. Minute 20 remaining on the power play for Tacoma. Ontario with just 3 games remaining. Started the season a little bit later than a majority of the teams in the MASL on December 13th and find themselves wrapping up on the road down south at Pechanga Arena on the 22nd. Caceres rising shot. Never a real threat there, and the restart coming for Ontario. But they do have 3 games remaining, one of which is next week, their last regular season home game against the Turlock Cal Express, a local kickoff time of 7:05. And then on the road, the 14th at Turlock and the 22nd at San Diego. Kickoff time there at 5:05. So the playoff picture officially unofficial in the Western Conference. Tacoma, Ontario, that shot steered wide. Sonora, all in the mix still, along with the Turlock Cal Express, who had their season high in goals against the Mesquite Outlaws not too long ago. Off of the boards and across, and to the far side now, they settle down with Ramos. Now Pereira, defended there from Gonzalez. McNeely trying to steer it into the near side. And Ramos now fakes that left-footed shot attempt. 5 seconds remain on the power play for Tacoma. Hernandez defending. Brilliant save there off of the foot of Chris Toth. And just as that sails out of bounds, officially, they have killed the first penalty on the night. Looks like Toth may have been shaken up there after the cleat save. Looks like he's going to stay on the pitch as well. Bodies right now on the field for Ontario, donning their blue and blue kits. It is a YMCA jersey night here inside Toyota Arena. Frank Tayu, Izzy Cisse, the captain, rookie Jesus Pacheco, Topete, and Stinson. To try and spark something here. It only took a minute and 30 seconds to get on the board against the defending champs last week after a set-piece play opportunity that was successful from Frank Tayu. Had a first-half hat trick in that game. To the far side, Tacoma. Stinson defending here. Neagle trying to get around Stinson. Creates some space. Left foot, rocket! And it's 2-0 Tacoma. Not sure if Stinson was 100% if he was to track Neagle or not. He got turned around, and Neagle made him pay. It's 2-0 Tacoma. And you see head coach player Nick Pereira expressing his enthusiasm after that found its way past their goalkeeper and Chris Toth. Ontario really right now with 5:29 remaining in this opening quarter, flat-footed so far. So Neagle makes it 2-0 visitors. And the next 2 minutes here are crucial for the home team to spark any energy here before they get into the first quarter break. Tayu double teams quickly there. Gonzalez will hold it in for Ontario. Concalves. Tayu on the turn. He lays it off to Kyrell to the near side. And Tayu slow ball rolling, defended there from McNeely. Cisse tried to curl that one in Blocked easily in the end from McNeely. Can call this far side Kyrell. Kyrell, former member of the Tacoma Stars as well. Gonzalez with the left foot. That's how you respond. Charlie Gonzalez, take a bow. If you're familiar with this Ontario Fury team, you know the name Charlie Gonzalez. He generates space off of his non-dominant foot there and makes this game interesting in the first quarter. It's 2-1 Tacoma. So Charlie Gonzalez nets his 20th goal and 37th point on the year. As Hughes trying to generate contact there, and it is Kyrell with the assist. Possibly defensive clearance here, so with 4:19 remaining, a set-piece play opportunity in a very dangerous spot here for Ontario. Kyrell on the stat sheet for the first time tonight with his second assist, and off the quick restart, Maicon tried to steer that past Waltman, unsuccessful, and they'll have to get back defensively. To the far side is Lima, near side is Pereira. 1v1 against Stinson, held up there and well done from Justin Stinson. Kyrell gets his second assist on the year, 7th point on the season as well. And tripped up there is the former Ontario Fury player. Looks like Pacheco was given a yellow card for dissent. One of the players was. Referee was shown a yellow card, as it was Charlie Gonzalez. So misconduct there from Charlie Gonzalez, not a minor penalty, so it'll still be 5-on-5. Charlie Gonzalez tripped up his former teammate. Incidental contact to the far side, and Tacoma will restart with 3:52 left in the first. Pereira tried to power that through Chris Toth. And very quickly now, Waltman off of his back line. Taiyu steering it to the goal and just a little too high as Frank Taiyu. We saw something very similar to that last week as Milwaukee, after being down 3-0 in the first quarter, was forced to bring on the extra attacker. And Taiyu nearly put one in from the same distance. Unfortunately, just a little too high on that attempt from Taiyu. Far side defending there from Kyrell. Toth will roll it to the near side and Cisse. Streaking past midfield is your captain of the Ontario Fury. Tried to get it to Kyrell, and Caceres will settle it down with McNeely and company. Still pressuring here is Cisse. And a call to the captain, Izzy Cisse, a little too aggressive in the referee's opinion, and a restart here now for the visitors. They're coming off a huge win against Florida. They did play Florida in back-to-back matches up at Acesso Showwear Center, losing one in a narrow defeat in overtime, and then pulling out the victory a handful of days ago, 4-3, up at Acesso Showwear Center. Florida, one of the teams we're unable to see this season, but of course, interleague conference play getting re-injected into the MASL this season, and boy, it really has been fun. A ball steered wide, and possessing to the far side is McCluskey, defended there from Stinson. Ontario was lucky enough to visit St. Louis and Kansas City during their road trip not too long ago in the middle of February. The MASL, of course, not venturing out the season before to get that inter-conference play. And it's great to see not only on the schedule, but on MASL Primetime as well, you get to see the guys like Vinny Dantas of the Baltimore Blast and Ian Bennett of the Milwaukee Wave. You get to see those stars of the league across the MASL. And now De Abreu and Concalves. The big 6'1" frame of Uzi Tayu looking over his options. He'll steer it to his teammate in Hughes, and now Kyrell at midfield. 1:05 remaining here in the opening quarter. Well done from Tacoma to intercept that pass intended for De Abreu, and a jostling match there. Ramos wins that battle, earns the foul call, and with just under a minute remaining, Tacoma will restart in their defensive half. They're then have to pick this guy up to the near side. Trying to get back is De Abreu, and steered wide to the far side off of the foot of Canale, and Pereira called for the foul along the far side boards. 50.4 remaining here in the opening quarter of play. If you joined us late, it was a goal from Ramos and Nigel, and then Charlie Gonzalez to get on board for the Ontario Fury. Tayu with the left foot, steered wide. Stinson settles to the far side. Disrupted there with looked like it was Corey Keats. See the replay here. It was actually Canale and Stinson on the restart. Scored from a very similar position on a rolling ball last week against the Wave from this exact spot. Let's see what they option to do here. Pacheco runs over the ball. Stinson to Tayu. Evan McNeely with a wonderful block there defensively for Tacoma. Ball stays in. 23 seconds remain now. And Toth will utilize the captain and Easy Cisse. Stinson under 15 seconds. Tayu turning, firing, and Waltman ensuring the score remains at 2-1 with 5 seconds now remaining in the opening quarter. Deep ball sent in, and with 1 second left, that shot steers wide at the end of 15 minutes here from Ontario, California. A 2-1 Tacoma Stars lead. Want to come back to the trio of players? Traffic. Copy.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
After 15 minutes of play, it's a 2-1 Tacoma lead, and you're looking at the trio of key players for the Ontario Fury. The MASL goal leader in Frank Tayu, Charlie Gonzalez, the franchise leader in goals scored, and man, Justin Stinson, the big free agent pickup for the Ontario Fury. Opposing Nick Pereira, Michael Ramos, and Alex Caceres. Pereira is just an unstoppable force, player coach for the Tacoma Stars. Michael Ramos, who netted already a goal here tonight, and Alex Caceres, 22 points on the season. He is one of the veterans of the MASL, did spend some time here in Ontario as well, so it's an all too familiar face. Let's hope Pereira and company don't get the ball rolling here tonight against the Ontario Fury. But after 15 minutes of play, it is a 2-1 Tacoma Stars lead. If you joined us late, Michael Ramos netted his 27th goal on the year, along with Nigel, who got his 7th on the season, and then Charlie Gonzalez, who got his 20th goal of the year, and Kyrell with the assist, his 2nd of the season so far. You can get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. Also, MASL Primetime. New episodes come out every Friday. This is the new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Friday as Alex Bastuvansky hosts a 30-minute deep dive into the MASL, and make sure to catch each and every episode. Commissioner Schaub was on the latest episode, episode 15, just talking about the state of the league and what it's been so far this year. Of course, re-injecting the interconference play that has been something so fun to watch this season, and expectations for the playoffs with which are just around the corner. This Western Conference is absolutely still not settled for the Ronduman Cup playoffs. On top of the league in the Western Conference as well, Monterey just suffering their second loss on the year. So 20-2 overall, they locked up that first playoff position. San Diego 14-6 in the second position. Ontario currently right now hold the third playoff position at 11-9, and then still unsettled. 11-11 at 500 is Sonora, and Tacoma on the outside looking in and trying to break that glass to get in. 8-10 overall record, but they still have 5 matches to play. Cisse a little too high and wide. Stinson trying to make sure the boys maintain possession here, but a foul on Topete to the far side. Tacoma on the restart. Ramos for the Stars. Stinson pressuring here. Wearing a completely different color tonight because of the YMCA auction night here inside Toyota Arena. No red on these kits, all powder blue and blue for the Ontario Fury. Waltman now with the ball at his feet. Looks for an option and pressured there from Stinson and company to the near side glass. Hansen trying to get it out of harm's way. And tripped up in the end. No foul call here. Play to the whistle, boys. Cisse collects for the home team. Right at midfield. Contact there. In the end, a foul on Tacoma. And a restart coming right near midfield. Concalves will restart for Ontario. And now Toth. Toth still doing big things, not only for himself and for the team, but this guy is still one of the tops in save percentage across the MASL. The only one to beat him in save percentage right now is Rafa Diaz at 76%. Chris Toth, 75% save percentage for the veteran goalkeeper in Toth. Deep ball sent into the near side glass. Uzi Tayu, Nick Pereira. De Abreu steers it free clear, and Hernandez pressuring here for Ontario. And now Kyrell. Hughes settles at midfield. And they'll reset here. So it'll be another home game next Friday the 13th as the Turlock Cal Express will pay a visit to the Toyota Arena, and then 2 road games to close out the regular season on the 14th at Turlock and on the 22nd at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. Tacoma, speaking of Pechanga Arena, will have 2 games at Pechanga Arena and then a home game as well in between. And then they'll round out their regular season with a couple of matches against the new franchise in the Mesquite Outlaws and head coach Tattoo. Mesquite officially out of the playoff picture. And now Lima to the far side, trying to tee up that left foot. Fakes with his left, goes with his right! And no matter how it got in, it is a goal for Tacoma. They lead 3-1. That might be unassisted. But he went against the rookie there, and the right foot. Looks like Cisse might have deflected that for an own goal. Either way, it's 3-1. Tacoma lead here in the first half. So Lima officially credited with that goal. He'll get his 3rd goal on the year. McNeely getting the assist, his 4th on the season. So Lima getting his former team with a 3rd goal. And Tacoma still not finished here in the 2nd quarter. Near side glass is McCluskey. McNeely. Pressuring there is Taiyu. Foul call in the end. Some frustration shown here from the home team. And rightfully so. They've been held in check. And give credit to the Tacoma Stars. The tie up there and no call. Trying to get past Caceres and feed Taiyu. They play on as Maicon is injured to the far side. Taiyu will hold the ball and steer off one defender. Maicon trying to get off of the field as Ontario still possessing. And now off the pitch, and Pacheco back on for Maicon. The captain returns onto the field. Cisse going 1v1. Steers it to Pacheco in the far side. Ontario really hasn't had any consistent pressure so far in the first half. It was the 1 goal and obviously the best quality opportunity so far, but no flurry of attacking minutes here provided by the Ontario Fury. Tripped up by Charlie Gonzalez. And Antonuk earns the ball back for the visitors. Caceres will restart for Tacoma. Cisse tripped up, advantage, but referees blow it dead. Kyrell now to the far side. Taiyu, double team there very quickly. And then single coverage, Charlie Gonzalez trying to bank it off the boards. Kyrell disrupted inside the box, no call there. Lima sprinting out. Cisse meets him. Pereira steers it to the far side in Caceres. And now Toth will just clear it out for the home team. Taiyu gets past McNeely. McNeely, well done from Evan McNeely. Banks it off the glass or the boards. And him and Waltman get it out of harm's way. Kyrell. Stinson in for a tough challenge with Nick Pereira. Canale now to the near side. Tangled up. And it will go Ontario Fury ball. So referees maybe calling it as either embellishment, but the referees explaining there, as you saw in the frame, that they actually pulled Topete's jersey. 9:10 remaining here in the first half of play. You're watching live action right here on MASL TV. So glad you can join us. My name is Brian Tabaje. Inside the booth here, upstairs in Toyota Arena. Playoff implications, no doubt about it. Nothing has been solidified in this Western Conference at 11-9 currently in the 3rd place position for the playoffs. They still have to win here tonight to inch their way closer to their 3rd playoff appearance in franchise history. Settled now near midfield. Tacoma on the outside looking in at 8-10 overall. And they've got some momentum beating the Eastern Conference top dog in Florida after losing an overtime loss. As well done from Pereira. They steer to Ramos. Ramos! No shot attempt there. They'll be frustrated because there was some room after Hansen got that pass from Pereira. thankfully, nothing in the end for Tacoma. And with 8 minutes remaining, they lead 3-1. Topete, contact there. Whistle dead easy call in the end for the referees. Ramos, he's up and okay. Topete not playing the ball there. 7:54 remaining. Restart for Tacoma. Pereira defended by Cisse. Pereira actually called for the foul there. Maybe the height advantage working out for the captain Izzy Cisse in that instance. Either way, a restart here for Ontario. Up top pressuring, it is Kyrell and Hernandez. Now defended there from McNeely. Charlie Gonzalez, the lone goal scorer so far for Ontario. Left foot again, and no real attempt or disruption there from Charlie Gonzalez and company. To the far side with Neagle, one of the goal scorers for Tacoma here tonight. He's so calm and collected as Chris Toth, playing that ball back to Concalves off of the far side boards. Ontario does average 6.6 goals a game, so well behind their average here so far after a quarter and a half has flown by. Shot attempt there is blocked from Waltman. And now Toth will settle for the home team. Taiyu has been quiet so far in tonight's contest. Now deep ball sent in for Taiyu. Overlapping run for Kyrell. Contact there between him and Canale. Kyrell looks over to make sure he's okay. They're both up and okay. Waltman on the restart for Tacoma. For Ramos. Right past Hughes. And Hughes, thankfully, because Ramos was in prime position there to really generate something as far as a quality attempt. But it looks like it was actually a foul on Ramos, so a restart coming here for Ontario. Should be along the near side glass as referees discussing and now steering it to the near side for the restart. Healthy crowd here tonight on a Saturday evening in the Inland Empire, as over nearly 4,000 fans came out to see the defending champion Milwaukee Wave visit Ontario for the first time in a handful of years. Since they matched up, it was 2016, a convincing Milwaukee Wave victory, 10-4. Ontario winning last week 7-3. It was an odd situation because in the first quarter, they pulled the goalie in Diaz, who is coming back from a leg injury. And then they had Capinos, who played in San Diego the night before, a shootout overtime loss. And Capinos played a heck of a game against Craig Childs and company. And they pulled Rafa Diaz, and obviously coming back from a major leg injury, not fully 100%, at least it seemed. And they played with an extra attacker majority of that game. I would say about half of the game. So a unique circumstance last week. After they jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the first quarter, and ultimately winning against the defending champs 7-3. Trying to generate something here. It's kind of a lull here in the second quarter. And just as I asked for something, Topete nearly gets it in. Kyrell pressuring here. And still in their attacking half. Taiyu now for Ontario. Final scores On the Eastern Conference side, the Blast over the Heat 9-5. The Lancers get their first victory of the season against the Kansas City Comets, a 9-7 final score there. And we'll be back, and I'll get you some more final scores after this timeout here from Ontario, California.
Everyone deserves a safe, clean place to call home, where children can grow and thrive. At National Community Renaissance, we are addressing our nation's housing crisis, building in tough neighborhoods and creating communities that support academic achievement, economic mobility, and improved health. With an integrated team of professionals, National Corps is transforming lives and communities in California, Florida, Texas, and Arkansas. To learn more, visit nationalcorps.org.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
So final scores on the Eastern side, like I did mention, a 9-5 Baltimore Blast victory over the Harrisburg Heat. The Milwaukee Wave take care of the Orlando Seawolves 11-3. The Lancers get their first victory on the season, 9-7 over Kansas City. And currently right now, Mesquite over the Turlock Cal Express 8-6. And fans, if you missed it last night, 11-7 Sonora over Monterey. So Monterey just taking their second loss on the season. Guess who gave them their first loss on the season? Yes, it is the visitors, the Tacoma Stars, who disrupted their unbeaten season just a handful of weeks ago. It was Nick Pereira and company took care of Monterey, and not too long ago just took care of the Eastern Conference best in the Florida Tropics, a 4-3 win on Sunday. So Tacoma playing the right kind of style, I guess, or the right type of need or hunger, if you will, at this part of the season. Still outside of the playoff picture, but very much still a part of the Western Conference playoff picture at the same time. With 5 games remaining, it is all but said and done for the Western Conference playoff picture. Off of the boards, a miscue there from Gonzalez. And tripped up there is Cox. And a restart coming for Tacoma. It is Hansen over the ball along the near side. He'll lay it off to Waltman. Tacoma, very tough remaining schedule against the San Diego Sockers, who have solidified their playoff position in the Western Conference. Ball whistle dead after a banner across the far boards halts play. But after tonight's game, on the 8th, which is tomorrow, it is a back-to-back tough schedule in Southern California. Visiting the San Diego Sockers, local kickoff time at 5:05 for Tacoma and San Diego. Just a couple hours south from Ontario. Tacoma got in last night, rested up for tonight's contest, and boy, they're playing very well so far with 3:15 remaining here in the first half of play. Hasn't been one in particular team with the majority of the possession. I would say about 50-50, but Ontario just not really trying to generate too much yet. Stinson and now Dare Bray deflected there off of the right foot of Antonuk. Hughes will lay it off to Toth. And with 2:48 remaining in the first half, it's been a quiet one so far for the home team. Charlie Gonzalez netting his 20th goal in the season. Kyrell just getting his second assist. As Taiyu maybe a little frustrated against his former teammate in McNeely. And McNeely just getting traded over for future considerations a handful of weeks ago. Going back to his hometown franchise. Stinson now to the far side. Topete to the near side. No shooting lanes for Ontario majority of the half. And speaking of that, I mean, Charlie Gonzalez created one himself to his non-dominant foot to even get to the back of the net as Uzi Tayu trying to hit his brother off of the boards. Stinson now and Topete. A lot of room here. And left foot, and Waltman in the end making it look easy for Tacoma. Been one and done. No real rebounds given up from Waltman as well. And Tacoma will call a timeout here. Want to remind you fans, Ontario International Airport is a proud partner of the Ontario Fury. Visit flyontario.com. SoCal, so easy. We'll be back in the second quarter of play from Ontario.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
You're watching Ontario Fury Soccer on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV. The Ontario Fury would like to thank Mitre USA for providing today's match balls. Mitre, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Mitre is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. It is jersey auction night here inside Toyota Arena. YMCA blue kits on auction for the fans in attendance here tonight from Toyota Arena. After the restart, it is Tacoma with the lead at 3-1. Goal scorers for Tacoma, Inigo, Ramos, and Lima. The lone goal scorer for the Ontario Fury, Charlie Gonzalez, who comes up a little limp after that contact there, deflected the ball out of bounds. Looks like he'll stay on the pitch, and he is running okay. So good sign there. The franchise leader in goals scored in Charlie Gonzalez has had at least a point in each and every game. To say he's an important piece to this offense, or to this team for that matter, is an understatement for Charlie Gonzalez. Bouncing ball here, Cox off of the boards, and Kyrell will settle for Ontario. Under a minute now left remaining in the first half of play. Steered to Concalves, 1v1, overlapping run for Gonzalez. In the vicinity, bouncing ball just over the net there. Cisse earns the ball back. Kyrell tried to kind of steer that one in, but it was a rising shot in the end off of the foot of Kyrell, and a restart coming for the visitors. Lima on the quick restart. 32 seconds remain. Right into the hands of Chris Toth. He'll steer it to Uzi. Tayu looking over his options. Charlie Gonzalez right down the middle of the pitch. Ticky-tack foul there, but a foul nonetheless on Pereira. Charlie Gonzalez with 75 goals for the Ontario Fury franchise. That's good enough for the best in franchise history. So tally that to 76 after tonight's goal. Under 15 seconds remain now. Hughes to Toth. A lot of pace on that ball, a little dangerous. But now 5 seconds. Hughes from distance. Well, teed up to De Abreu. Off of the boards. Man, a miscue on the defensive end. And Tacoma lucky that it went wide. Unfortunately for Ontario, that would have carried some momentum, no doubt. As you see Hughes unmarked there. Wow. Waltman doing his best to keep it out of the net, and he does. They get out of here at the half. It is a 3-1 Tacoma Stars lead. We'll be back after the break. right now. Let's get the phone.
So he's gonna put this in. This new one is clean.
Okay.
So put this in. This is clean. It's new.
Okay. Where does it go? In my ear?
Yeah, your ear, so you could hear him.
Okay.
Please welcome to the field tonight's halftime performance, Laverne University dance team.
Head coach Jimmy Nordberg down on the pitch here at the half. A 3-1.
I don't hear anybody yet.
Tacoma Stars lead.
Is he on yet?
Waiting officially to get word from head coach Jimmy Nordberg.
No feedback.
A first half that's
Nothing
really
yet.
been dominated, at least on the score sheet, from the visiting Tacoma Stars. Ontario really just not generating too much.
Hello?
attack in the end of the first half.
Gotcha.
And they find themselves down by 2 goals
I can hear you, yeah.
at the half. You see, this was the last attempt here from Ontario. Seconds remaining, really. And Micon, after that deep ball was sent in from Hughes, a miscue defensive.
Yep.
They came out unscathed. The halftime score, and head coach Jimmy Nordberg. Coach, a 3-1 deficit so far. What are you not seeing from your boys on the offensive end?
Yeah, I think we're a little passive. I think we're not really getting to goal very often. We're not getting a lot of shots off. They're doing a really good job of sitting deep and clogging the middle channel. So we got to solve that problem and maybe take shots from different areas and look to draw them out and then get out there and bite them, because there's no way we can only score one goal in a half and expect to win games.
Yeah, definitely. Tacoma have they shown anything differently defensively that's kind of disrupting any potential shooting lanes?
No, I think they're doing a really good job of getting back 5 behind the ball and making it difficult on us. Danny is obviously a tremendous keeper, so it takes something special to beat him like Charlie did. But, we kind of expected this. So it's up to us to break him down. And, we got to be better on the defensive side.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach. We can't wait for it.
Thank you.
That's head coach Jimmy Nordberg. His boys are down at the half from Toyota Arena. It is a 3-1 Tacoma Stars lead.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Score here inside Toyota Arena, a 3-1 Tacoma Stars lead. Goal scorers for the visitors, Michael Ramos, Neagle, and Douglas Lima. And for the Ontario Fury, it was Charlie Gonzalez who netted his 20th goal on the season, assisted by Kai Rell. MASL Primetime is the new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. You can catch the latest episode each Friday as Alex Bastuvansky hosts this 30-minute deep dive into the MASL. Make sure to catch each and every episode.
Hey, welcome back to MASL Primetime. We're now into the last few weeks of regular season play, and the playoff picture in the Western Conference is as clear as mud. Sure, Monterey and San Diego have secured the first and second seeds, respectively, but beyond that, it's pure madness. Several teams are sitting right around that 500 mark and are scrapping it out for the final 2 postseason berths. Sonora is one of those squads, and the Mexican side was trying to score an essential win against Eastern Power Utica City last weekend. These are 2 teams that had never faced each other before, and Sonora gave the Blues all they could handle, although Utica hits first 10 seconds in. Ricardo Dieguez, the nice header right there. It took Sonora just 40 seconds to respond, though. Jesus Avendano ripping it home to make it 1-1. Alejandro Gallardo makes the initial stop here, but Dieguez right there to pounce on the rebound for his second tally. Back and forth they went. Daniel Lopez The screamer past Coughlin to tie it at 2 apiece. There were just a ton of goals in this game. We pick it up tied 10-10 in the fourth. Bo Yelovac gets Utica back in the lead. But in the dying seconds of the contest with the extra attacker route, Enrique Cañas goes to work.
Va hacia adelante, Quique Cañas, el balón que rebota en el área, mete la pierna, adórame, la tiene Quique.
This one would end up going to overtime. Finally, Liam Callahan wins it for UCFC. They take it 12-11, but the two squads would tangle again that weekend with a much different result. We'll show you the second game later on in the show. Okay, Ontario recently had its 6-game winning streak snapped, so they were an angry bunch facing Milwaukee, and Frank Taillou made it clear right from the start this is his kingdom. Just a $1.26 in, Frank threads the needle, makes it 1-0 Fury. Soon after, it's Taillou again, turning and burning it this time past Rafa Diaz. Ontario up by a deuce at that point. They weren't done. Justin Stinson, from a tough angle here, he will smash it home to make it 3. Second quarter, Joseph Kyrell does all the heavy lifting. Juan Gonzalez ends up putting it in, but that play was all Kyrell. Milwaukee finally makes up. Ian Bennett hits the streaking Max Ferdinand out front, and the wave was on the board, but Taillou says, no comeback today, boys. That's his third of the day. 7-3 final. Fury keeper Chris Toth shared that his boys were pumped and ready for this contest for some time.
Yeah, in the beginning of the season, I think everybody had that one circled here in Ontario. It was a massive game, especially dropping that game against Turlock the other night. We knew it had to be a rebound game. We did so well on the road, and to lose that winning streak and the momentum a little bit there, it was really important to reestablish it and win at home.
Okay, speaking of Turlock, they headed east to take on Orlando. Matthew Germain gets the visitors on the board first late in the opening quarter. And then Orlando keeper Josue Mazon gets caught in no man's land, and Turlock takes full advantage. Juan Rojo with the tally. The Seawolves cut their deficit in half. Rafa Tobias feeds Armando Tello 2-1 after 15 minutes. Ivan Campos restores the 2-goal Express advantage as he puts home the third chance, 3-1. With the score 4-1, Jeff Michaud smashes one of the nicest goals of the week. Beauty. It was 4-2 at the half. Turlock really turns it on from that point, though. Christian Valadez tickles the twine, and it's a fruitful trip east for Cal as they double up the Seawolves by a 14-7 count. Mesquite hosting Monterey. The Flash had lost just once in 19 matches heading into this one. They jump all over the Outlaws. Hugo Puentes gets the first, and then watch how much time Eric Rosas has here. Just a bit too much. Time and space. 3-0 after 15 minutes. Edgar Gonzalez had a big game for Monterey, and that beauty is the first of 2 on the day. And down 4-0, the Outlaws finally get on the board. Omar Tapia to Ramon Nunez, giving the home fans something to cheer about. And then Omar Tapia tattoos the offering past Berta Valdevanos, and that cut their deficit to 2 goals. Alas, all game long, 2 goals is as close as they would get. Monterey holds on to down Mesquite by a 9-7 count. In Week 14, Rochester came oh so close to getting their first win, and it was against Baltimore. That was not the case in Week 15, though. The Blast hit early and often. Vinny Dantas getting things going. Shortly after, Donatos Mello with an oh-so-pretty effort flicks the miter past Brian Wilkin. Leading 4-zip, Juan Pereira notches his second of the day, and it's 5-0 for the Blast. Rochester snaps the shutout off a weird one. August Finn getting credit for that one. And then seconds later, Andre Demedev, top shelf, past William Venzela. But this Baltimore squad is fighting for a playoff spot, and they were ruthless. Jeremy Raley puts home the Dantas pass. Baltimore puts a spanking on Rochester, 12-3 the final. Let's take a look at your MASL save percentage leaders. Rafa Diaz leading the way, followed by Chris Toth, Hugo Silva, William Benzela, William Banaheni, and Andrew Coughlin.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Everyone deserves a safe, clean place to call home, where children can grow and thrive. At National Community Renaissance, we are addressing our nation's housing crisis, building in tough neighborhoods and creating communities that support academic achievement, economic mobility, and improved health. With an integrated team of professionals, National Core is transforming lives and communities in California, Florida, Texas, and Arkansas. To learn more, visit nationalcore.org.
Move towards a better life with the Orthopedic and Robotic Center at Casa Colina. Our Revive Joint Replacement Program offers board-certified orthopedic surgeons and robotic surgical precision for improved fit, balance, and feel of your new joint. Each patient benefits from a dedicated orthopedic team and an individualized surgical plan for less pain, quicker recovery, and improved outcomes. Casa Colina Hospital and Centers for Healthcare, where better begins.
Hi, I'm Dr. Fantasia. This is United Chiropractic Health Center. We are a full-service chiropractic clinic including acupuncture, sports and therapeutic massage, non-surgical spinal decompression for the treatment of bulging discs without surgery, You can reach us at drfantasia.com. Call us. We're here to serve you.
Some pretty heavy storms, and I think that the guys really worked hard on the game plan we tried to talk about.
What are you doing to contain Frank Tayu so far?
We're just doing the best we can. I mean, the guy scores goals for a living, so we're hoping that we can keep doing that for another half.
Anything you'd like to change here in the second half going forward to close it out?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple changes I'd like to make, but I'm not sure I want to tell you guys right now.
Hey, Coach, always a pleasure. Appreciate the time, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Nick Pereira, one of the classiest players in the entire MASL, the reigning MVP of the MASL, and Nick Pereira and his boys with the halftime lead here inside Toyota Arena, a 3-1 lead. Goal scorers for Tacoma: Ramos, Nigel, and Lima. Charlie Gonzalez netted his 20th goal of the season and 76th. That is the franchise best goal for the Ontario Fury. In that first half of play, I talked about no real skew as far as possession in that first half. 9 shots total apiece, 7 for the visitors in that first quarter, and just 2 in the second, while 5 and 4 for the home team Ontario Fury. They did have a penalty that they did kill, so successful again on that 68 penalty kill percentage for Ontario. No penalties on Tacoma in that first half. Like Pereira said, I mean, they're containing the league leader in goals in Frank Tayu, who does absolutely score goals for a living, and he's been held in check so far after Tacoma really playing some shutdown defense. You see the lone goal here from Charlie Gonzalez. And in the end, to close out that first half of play, it really was a bang-bang play after Jeff Hughes picked up Maicon de Abreu unmarked to close out that first half and just steered it wide to keep the score at 3-1. So you see the highlights here after the first half of play. Remaining schedule for the Ontario Fury. They'll play host to the Turlock Cal Express next Friday. Local kickoff time at 7:05 p.m. here from Toyota Arena, and then they'll hit the road. A pair of road games to close out their regular season. Saturday, March 14th at Turlock, 4:05 local kickoff time there, and a full 5:05, kickoff time on Sunday, March 22nd, down at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. In the Western Conference, playoff picture has yet to be solidified. Monterey just suffered their second loss of the season, 11-7 yesterday as Sonora beat them. They're even at 500 now. 11-11 is the record of Sonora, sitting in the fourth playoff spot. Ontario currently right now in the third playoff position at 11-9. And then San Diego at 14-6. And the aforementioned league best 20-2 Monterey Flash have locked up that first position in the Western Conference. In the Eastern side, Florida 17-3 overall in that first playoff position. Utica City FC 14-4. 13-6 are the Milwaukee Wave after their victory earlier today. And the Baltimore Blast really trying to shut down Harrisburg to penetrate that fourth playoff position. Harrisburg 12-8, Baltimore Blast 15-8 to get that fourth and final playoff position representing the Eastern Conference. Let's see if things change here. There's a shakeup from the captain, Izzy Cisse, after contact with Pereira. No whistle on, we play on. Just underway here in the third quarter of play. 9 first half shots from Ontario. Let's see if that changes here early on in the second half. Toth playing the ball for Ontario. Tested a handful of times in that first half. Thankfully, just only a 3-1 lead for Tacoma. Head coach Jimmy Nordberg stated that there was no real consistent attack from the Fury in the first half. Let's see if they can spark something here. It's Goncalves and Pacheco now. Ontario working from right to left here in the third quarter, donning blue-on-blue kits as it is a YMCA jersey auction night here. Fans in attendance can auction off their jerseys right off of their backs and into their hands after it's all said and done against Tacoma. Goncalves, now Gonzalez. 76 all-time goals for the franchise is Charlie Gonzalez. A franchise leader in goals scored in his fourth season for Ontario. Gonzalez on that volley attempt, and now Uzi. Bicycle kick attempt just up and out of bounds, and a restart coming. As you see on the replay here, a 1-2 off of the boards, and Gonzalez wastes no time. Waltman doing everything he can to keep that ball out, and he does so successfully. Now 1-2 right across midfield. Canale and Toth off of that right foot. A save again from Chris Toth. Keats will lay it back to Waltman. Overall record for Chris Toth, 10-6 at a 4.74 goals against average, and second best in the MASL in save percentage. Kyrell elected not to take a shot from distance as Waltman was playing the ball well off of his back line. Now Lima and Stinson tangle to the near side. Stinson upended there. A foul call on Tacoma as Antonuk greeted Stinson after him and Lima were tangling along the near side. No lack of effort there from Stinson. But on the restart, it is Kyrell to the far side. Uzi Tayo defended there from Canale. And now Kyrell. Line drive! Back heel attempt into the net is Tayo. And it's 3-2. A line drive pass from Kyrell. He plucks out Tayo, And that's going to be all over MASL primetime. The league leader tallies to his goals, and it's a 3-2 Tacoma lead. So Taiyu nets his 45th goal on the season, and assisted again from Joseph Kyrell. And they make things interesting here in the third quarter. Plenty of time left in the game here tonight from Toyota Arena. Tacoma on the quick restart after the foul. So Taiyu maybe releasing some frustration, expressing it to his former teammate in McNeely on that back heel attempt. The next 2 minutes crucial here to try and get things brewing. Tacoma has done a phenomenal job tonight, really halting any pressure from Ontario as far as waves in attack. And now Ramos shouldered off the ball from Topete. Cisse gathers for Ontario, and they promptly earn the ball back. Pereira, and now Hernandez pressuring there. Turns the ball over. Hernandez trying to generate a shot there, and that's unsuccessful. Pereira steers it to McNeely. And they'll try and get it out of harm's way here. Goncalves pinching in. Stinson nearly forced a turnover there in that midfield. Canale tangled with Uzi. Foul in the end. Restart coming for Tacoma. Canale would like a little bit more. As the referees, no blue card given on Uzi Taiyu, and a restart here for Tacoma. Frank will lay it back to his goalkeeper in Toth. And now Stinson. Like I mentioned, Tacoma has been phenomenal, halting any real consistent attack of the Fury so far. So with a goal just scored a minute ago, let's see if that still holds true here in the third quarter with 10:15 remaining. Stinson dancing to the far side. Goncalves with some room, elected to steer it to Frank Taiyu, and McNeely breaks that up. Cox to the near side, deflected. Canale now going 1v1 against Toth, and he'll steer it into the back of the net for a 4-2 Fury lead. Incidental contact from the referee. That results in another Tacoma Stars goal. Canale makes it 4-2 Tacoma. You see the replay there, Toth doing all he can, and Ontario go right to the referee in that instance. There's nothing really you can do there. Incidental contact from the referee. Taiyu and Cisse trying to get an explanation here. That goal will stand, and it will be a 4-2 Tacoma lead. You see on the replay there, Maicon trying to get it back to his goalkeeper in Toth. Probably would have done so successfully, but Canale is still the only man up there pressuring for Tacoma, and he takes full advantage. And Tacoma lead 4-2. So Canale will get his 5th goal on the season, unassisted. And Tacoma really shutting it down offensively for Ontario. Goncalves in the box for what I assume to be misconduct after dissent for Goncalves after getting into the face of the referee along the near side glass after the goal was scored from Tacoma. Ontario's going to have to shake this off and get down to business here. No minor penalty, just the card given. So Goncalves in the box for 5 minutes. Cisse for Ontario. Hughes, Gonzalez, Taiyu, and Kyrell on the pitch as well for Ontario. Double team there, and they really have shut down the Kings so far after 2.5 quarters of play. Taiyu trying to go around Lima and McCluskey, and in the end, a foul on Ontario as Lima hit the deck. 9:17 remain here in the third quarter. Frustration mounting for the Ontario Fury. This is where your mentality has to take over of your physical ability to do well. Now Keats to the far side. Still Keats. Hughes defending, off of the boards. Steered to the near side in Gonzalez. Upwards to Frank Tayu. A foul there after him and McCluskey were tied up. See the left arm there from Frank Tayu. A foul nonetheless. And a restart for Tacoma. Caceres over the ball for the Stars. Hernandez trying to earn the ball back right after that foul. In hard there is Topete on McCluskey. Play on. A shot from the far side just up and wide. Topete, got to be careful. Here's his captain Cisse. And now Toth. Pacheco for Ontario. No option up top as Hernandez is kind of in between two defenders as the option up top. Pacheco now to the far side. 1v1 against a tall task and Pereira. Wins that battle momentarily. Steers it off the boards and Stinson to the near side. 1v2 for Stinson. Still Stinson and Waltman. Huge there for Tacoma. Hernandez off of the boards. And a push in the back. Foul in the end from Tacoma. Topete trying to get a quick restart, but no doubt about it. A foul there, but they'll have to at least talk things over. A set piece play to the near side after a foul on Neagle. Pereira and Neagle in the wall. Topete over the ball for Ontario. To De Abreu! That finds its way in! And it's 4-3 Tacoma. Topete just steered it on that set piece play. Maicon found the back of the net. Caceres maybe and Waltman expecting one another to make contact with that ball. In the end, it finds its way past Waltman, and now a 4-3 match here in the third quarter. A timeout on the pitch here from Toyota Arena. We'll be back after these messages.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
In the third quarter, Tacoma still hanging on to the lead now 4-3. After Maicon de Abreu found some space on this replay here. Assist goes to Topete, his 7th on the year. Maicon nets his 8th goal of the year. And with 7:43 remaining, it is a 4-3 Tacoma lead. Fans, if you're joining us late, Tacoma, every time Ontario has scored so far tonight, Tacoma has halted any real consistent attack. Of course, after a goal is scored, whether it's the visitors or the home team, it's always crucial to lock down defensively in the next 2 minutes. If that holds true here, that'll be a huge momentum shift to end and wrap up this third quarter. Of course, 7.5 remaining here in the third quarter. Now Tacoma. That incidental contact from the referee along the near side produced the fourth goal for Tacoma. But just like any other goal, giving up, they're going to have to bounce back after giving up that goal for Tacoma. Cox now steers it to the far side and Ramos. Defended there from Kyrell. Now Hernandez joins in defensively. Tacoma has never trailed in tonight's contest. And now Uzi pulled down in the end. A foul call nonetheless. A restart coming for the Ontario Fury to the far side. Ontario now trying to generate something here. It's been a halted attack so far. Head coach Jimmy Nordberg touching on things they have to kind of generate here to be successful against this team in the Stars. Remember, fans, this is a team that's beat Florida and Monterey. Monterey at the time, undefeated on the season, lost to Tacoma a handful of weeks ago. Charlie Gonzalez nearly ties the game up, inches away from beating Waltman again. But quickly on the restart, it is Cox to the far side. Cisse swarming along with Gonzalez. They earn the ball back for Ontario. Pacheco past midfield. Looking for Tayu, deflected there. I believe that made contact with the hand of Keats. So you see here, Pacheco looking for Frank. Yes, absolutely. So Keats, if there's a time to halt Frank Tayu in possessing the ball in his attacking third, that was definitely the time to do so. On the restart, Topete, rising shot over the goal. McNeely clearing it out defensively. Lima, De Abreu. And now Keats for Tacoma along the near side. To Canale, the latest goal scorer for Tacoma. No foul call there. Well done from the referees as contact inside that box. Always dangerous there. Ball steered to the far side in Stinson. Let's loose and just wide. Stinson on the year, 16 goals, 26 points. A huge free agent pickup in the offseason from St. Louis. Ontario, the new home of Justin Stinson. And boy, we've welcomed him with open arms. Stinson, a very, very important piece to this offensive cavalry, if you will, for the Fury. Now Tayu double teamed again to the near side. Kyrell with Frank, and Frank roofs it and ties the game at 4. How about a hat trick of assists for Kyrell? Tayu tallies another one, and it's all tied up here in the third quarter. Well, just like Nick Pereira, you cannot stop him. You can only try to contain him. And Tayu tallies his 46th goal on the season. Kyrell with another assist tonight. Give him 4 on the year. So Tayu, who had a first half hat trick against the defending champs last week, continues his goal-scoring ability here tonight against Tacoma. 50-50 challenge there, no whistle. Looks like there might have been contact with Cisse. Pereira showing concern for his player down on the pitch right now. Frank Tayu and company doing their best to keep themselves in tonight's contest, and looks like on the field that is Raphael Cox, the injured Tacoma star player. No blue card was given, a foul absolutely, but a card yet to be determined here. Referees discussing, senior referee and Kyle Trimble, as Cox helped off of the pitch on his own power. Always a good sign there. As you're watching the Ontario Fury on MASL TV, catch each game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv. Also, you can get the latest all over social media. All you have to do is search at Ontario Fury on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all the above, as well as the MASL. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams like the Ontario Fury. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. So Cox helped over to the bench after contact with the captain, Izzy Cisse. He walked off on his own power and is at the bench now as a restart coming. It looked like in the end it was a foul on Tacoma, so a restart here for Ontario. Tayu will steer back to Concalves, right at midfield, trying to go around Pereira. Pereira forces a turnover. Steers it to Ramos to the near side. Gonzalez defending there. And now Caceres to Lima. Caceres, Ramos, shot attempt off of Charlie Gonzalez. That forces a corner kick here for Tacoma. 3:56 remaining here in the third quarter of play. It's been a pair of unanswered goals from Ontario after Canale made it a 4-2 game. Gonzalez and Maicon defending there. Nestor right past midfield. Does have Charlie Gonzalez streaking. Hernandez, and well done from Tacoma and Ramos. McNeely now will settle things down in his defensive half. And Tacoma quickly now to Pereira. Trying to go around the frame of 6'1" Tayu. Pereira now for Tacoma. Steers it to Canale. Off of the boards, just over from Caceres. Bouncing ball to Pete. And now Canale will steer it all the way back to McCluskey. Far side, Pereira settles. That bicycle kick attempt disrupted there from Uzi Tayu. The 6'1" frame tried to steer it to Hernandez. They'll have to get back defensively. Pacheco and Topete back for Ontario. Off of the bar and out. Pereira again to the far side. Topete disrupting there. Caceres, Canale, and Caceres again. Shaken up is Caceres. And a foul call from Canale along the near side. Displaying some frustration to the referee to the near side. And that promptly warrants a yellow card. So Canale will find himself in the box for 5 minutes after showing his displeasure after a foul call to the near side. And it is 5 minutes for dissent. Tayu's last game against the Tacoma Stars, 2 goals and 2 assists, so right on pace here with 2 goals so far. The first match they had, 10-7 win, 5 goals from the king of Frank Tayu in that victory. Lima, Cisse, Lima still with the ball. And now turned over. Stinson on the break. Loses control, and McCluskey gets the ball back for the visitors. 2 minutes remain here in the third quarter. All tied up after a pair of unanswered goals from the home team. And now 1-2. Well done from Thiago Concalves to ensure no real attempt was to be had against Chris Toth. Cisse now for Ontario. Tacoma with that 3-1 halftime lead. And now Hernandez, the wrong touch there to generate something. They turn the ball back over. Neagle, 1v1 against Gonzalez. Tried to line up his left foot again, and he lost it for a split second. If Hernandez hurries, there's an attacking option here. Pereira, right past him, and he steers it to the far side. They take the lead off of the foot of Nestor Hernandez. I believe Pereira was waiting for McCluskey or expecting McCluskey to jump into that pitcher defensively. Hernandez says thank you very much for the space, and he capitalizes on the outside of his right foot. What a beauty from Hernandez. So his 10th goal on the year for Hernandez. That's 3 unanswered goals from the home team. They take the lead here in the third quarter, 5-4. Waltman now for Tacoma. It has been Charlie Gonzalez, Nestor Hernandez, Frank Tayu twice, and Maicon De Abreu. For Tacoma, it's been Ramos, Neagle, Lima, Canale as your goal scorers. A whistle here after Ramos was tangled up. And it looks like he has a little bit of a limp there. Wearing the captain's armband here tonight. But Keats will restart with 43.8 seconds remaining here. McNeely to Pereira. And now Toth just trying to steer it out of harm's way. And now Keats has to be careful here, pressuring Uzi Tayu. Along with Hughes, right around Hughes they work. Ramos to Cox to Pereira. Pereira stopped there in his tracks. Cisse with 10 seconds. He'll steer it all the way down to the far side. Waltman trying to catch up. The clock stopped momentarily. 3 seconds now, 2 and 1 at the end of 3 quarters of play. The Ontario Fury with a 5-4 lead against the Tacoma Stars. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Final scores across the MASL. The Baltimore Blast holding off the Harrisburg Heat 9-5. The Lancers earned their first victory on the season, 9-7 over Kansas City. The Milwaukee Wave, a no-doubter over Orlando, 11-3. And the Outlaws, final score, Mesquite 11. The Turlock Cal Express 7. As we are just seconds away here to start the fourth quarter of play. As you see there, this was the fourth goal for Tacoma. Incidental contact to the near side from the referee after one of the Fury players attempted a pass back to their goalkeeper and Toth, as Maicon there was disrupted. And then promptly after that, Concalves entered the box for some dissent. As you see also, the goal here from Maicon on the restart. That produced a 4-3 Tacoma lead. Right in between, wow, Caceres and Waltman. Frank Tayu here after Kyrell said, there you go, Frank. And the finish there from the King. That made it a 4-4 game. And then just minutes later, it was Nestor Hernandez. As you see here, Pereira pinching in, and then I would assume he's waiting for someone to help him out defensively. That never came quick enough. And fortunately for Nestor Hernandez and the Fury, it was a placement off of the outside of your right foot. So definitely some pace there as well. The remaining schedule for the Ontario Fury, they'll play host to the Turlock Cal Express, 7:05 local kickoff time next Friday the 13th. And then 2 road games to end their regular season at Turlock on the 14th and at Pechanga Arena, San Diego, March 22nd. Local kickoff time, 5:05. For the Tacoma Stars, they will play tomorrow afternoon, 5:05 local kickoff time at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. Then it's another home and home as they'll play host to San Diego on Friday the 13th, and then promptly back to Pechanga Arena on Sunday the 15th, finishing out their regular season. 2 home games on March 19th and the 22nd against the Mesquite Outlaws. So Mesquite taking care of the Turlock Cal Express tonight, 11-7 final score in that matchup. Playoff implications still very much in play. Ontario in that 3rd playoff position representing the Western Conference. Sonora now even at 500, 11-11 overall record. They defeated Monterey just yesterday. Deep ball sent in for Tayu, looking for yet again another hat trick. During the 6-game win streak for Ontario, 4 consecutive hat tricks from the King, Frank Tayu. A league best in 46 goals so far. They still have 3 games remaining to round out their regular season. 1v1 is Ramos on Cisse. Near side boards. Keats to the far side. Stinson flies by. And now Ramos. Hernandez, the last goal scorer for Ontario, takes on 3 defenders. Still Hernandez. Plays it back momentarily. Stinson trying to plow his way through Keats, and he does. Trying to go around his former teammate in McNeely. That rolls all the way into the hands of Waltman. Now Pereira. Defended from Topete. Obstruction there, no foul call. Gonzalez. Topete to the far side. Off of McNeely, and Tacoma again with Pereira. Topete's gonna have to catch up here. Far side, boards! Toth, well done from the Ontario goalkeeper there. Now Gonzalez. Held up there. Still Gonzalez. Gets the ball back, fires with his left foot just over the top. Pereira, end-to-end action here from Tacoma and Ontario. Right as I say that, Concalves says, let's restart and rethink things over here as Toth, the Fury goalkeeper, plays at his feet. Kyrell and company trying to get another one here in the fourth. Tayu, defended by 3. Cox to McNeely. Deep ball sent in. Dangerous spot here. Toth, well done off of his back line. And Uzi will take another few deep breaths and lay it off to his goalkeeper in Toth. Hughes turns the ball over. Ramos, Pereira. Caceres to the far side. Shot attempt is steered off of the hands, and a dangerous pass there from Gonzalez. Hernandez lets the ball run. McCluskey and him, and it is a foot race, and Waltman. Tacoma wins that race. Lima to Caceres. Waltman playing up top for Tacoma. To Pereira. Uzi Tayu trying to get the ball back. McCluskey loses it momentarily and then just toe pokes it away to the far side. Stinson abruptly stopped right by the bench. And Lima now with pace. Past midfield. Looks like there was contact from Maicon. They'll restart right near midfield after that foul call there. And now Neagle does have a goal so far tonight. And McNeely. Still McNeely to the far side. Was a 4-2 Tacoma lead. Pereira trying to get around Uzi Tayu. Still Pereira. Now Neagle. Draws in 2 defenders is Pereira. No foul call there. Tacoma still with possession in their attacking half. 10.5 remaining now in the fourth quarter. Neagle steers it to Hansen. McNeely. Boy, what a true pro McNeely is. Part of the defensive back line for Ontario for about a season and a half. After Maicon made contact with Waltman to the far side. A foul call and a restart coming for Tacoma. But McNeely, a true pro, always ready to talk to anyone really who wanted to talk to the guy. Always in good spirits. Reminds me very much so of Jeff Hughes. Always trying to partner with whomever to speak about the game, speak about team's performance, so on and so forth. And Kyrell trying to clear it out away from pressure, ends up getting a defensive clearance. So quality opportunity here for Tacoma as Canale hops out of the box after a 5-minute misconduct for dissent. Pereira, McNeely, and Ramos over the ball to restart here for Tacoma. McNeely tees away. A no-doubter for McNeely. And they tie the game up here in the fourth quarter. I was just about to say, McNeely has that left foot. And did he wind up ever on this attempt? Toth could barely see it. And in a blink of an eye, we're all tied in the fourth quarter. So Kyrell, the miscue on the clearance, and ends up with a set-piece play. And Tacoma capitalizes here in the fourth quarter. McNeely with his 7th goal on the season, unassisted after it was a restart on that set-piece play opportunity. 9:54 remains here. Ontario trying to cement their way into playoff position. This does not solidify or guarantee yet here tonight. They'll still have to win tonight, and I would say outright to really solidify anything. Right now in the third playoff position at an overall record of 11-9. Tacoma 8-10 overall. On the outside looking in, 11-11 is the Souls de Sonora in the fourth playoff position. They had a huge win yesterday against Monterey. Only given Monterey their second loss on the year. Guess who gave them the first? You guessed it. The visiting Tacoma Stars and Company. Monterey was undefeated until they matched up with Tacoma just a handful of weeks ago. Lima trying to generate something here. Ontario's going to have to get back defensively after relinquishing possession in their attacking half. Cisse and Tayu disrupting there. Off of the boards, loose ball. Tacoma collects and heads it up to Pereira. Trying to get past Concalves, and he'll utilize his goalkeeper in tow. 8 minutes, 31 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. If you joined us late, Tacoma has never trailed in this game. They were up 3-1 and 4-2. Then it was 3 unanswered from Ontario, making it a 5-4 game. And then not too long ago, McNeely tied it all up on a set-piece opportunity off that rocket left foot. A no-doubter from McNeely, his 7th of the year. Hughes, Tayu brothers, and Maicon along with Stinson on the field right now for Ontario. Stinson has been quiet. He fires away! Bar down just inches away from making it 6 for Ontario tonight. Maybe I should say that more often. Stinson has been quiet all night. As Tayu now trying to generate something here. Trip up from Stinson in the end. He helps up McCluskey. Trying to get a quick restart here. A foul, no doubt about it. It looks like they got to delay a game. Ontario, 7.5 remaining here in the fourth quarter. You're watching live action right here on MASL TV. A foul off of Ramos. Engaged there with Topete. You're watching live action right here on MASL TV. My name is Brian Tabajay. So glad you can hop inside Toyota Arena for this matchup. All too familiar matchup with Tacoma and Ontario. And guess what? Both of them are in the playoff picture. Gonzalez now. After 3-line pass. Restart. Stinson. Again Stinson. Well done, Woolman. Gonzalez settles things down with 7:15 remaining. Far side, defended from Keats. Tayu. McNeely defending Tayu. Pacheco tried to get into the mix there. Topete now. And Pacheco. Line changes for Ontario. He elects to go to the far side in Kyrell. Kyrell still to the far side. Tayu and Cisse up top. Cisse to the far side. 6.5 remaining here in the fourth quarter. All tied at 5. It's a 4-2 Tacoma lead. Then a 5-4 Ontario lead. Deflected up out of bounds. Will be a corner kick after we come back. 6:21 remaining. All tied at 5.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
All tied at 5 here from Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. The next match for the Ontario Fury, Friday, March 13th, 7:05 local kickoff time against the Turlock Cal Express. It'll be a home and home with Turlock. The next day they'll go ahead and head up to Turlock Indoor to finish their season series, and then promptly end the regular season on the road at San Diego, at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. Final scores across the MASL. Baltimore over the Heat, 9-5. The Lancers get on the win column, 9-7 over Kansas City. Milwaukee best Orlando, 11-3. And the Outlaws, 11-7 over the Turlock Cal Express. Corner kick attempt deflected there from Lima. Pacheco will steer to the near side in Maicon. Taiyu now off the boards. Charlie Gonzalez deflected there. Well done defensively from Keats. And now on the attack. But Toth reading the ball perfectly. Plays the ball past midfield. Bouncing ball up and out of bounds. Restart coming for the visitors. Charlie Gonzalez on the stat sheet yet again here tonight. Scored the opening goal for the home team. 76 career franchise goals for the Ontario Fury. The franchise leader in goals. Charlie Gonzalez, he's had a point in every single contest this season. Last time he was held pointless was way back last year against the Monterey Flash in their regular season finale here at Toyota Arena. Stinson, Gonzalez, and Taiyu, the lead offensive weapons on this club. Not to take any away from everybody else who continues to contribute in important key spots, like Nestor Hernandez with the 5th goal for the home team tonight. They continue to get contributions all over the pitch. Really great to see for head coach Jimmy Nordberg and his coaching staff. Waltman now, trying to get Pereira up top, defended there from Topete. Pereira going around Topete. Man, he is so dangerous so fast. Pereira just sailed that one past the goal. Out of bounds off of the glass. Restart coming for Ontario. It is jersey auction night here, sponsored by the YMCA. That's why you see these predominantly blue kits. No red trim in these ones here tonight. Blue on blue. For everyone in attendance, they can auction off these jerseys off of the backs of the players into their hands after tonight's contest is all done. Ontario trying to make sure they qualify for the Rondeman Cup playoffs. Uzi Taiyu off the near side boards. 4:10 remaining here in the 4th quarter, all tied at 5. It'll be just the 3rd time if they qualify for the playoffs. The team's 7th season in franchise history. A handful of years ago was the Las Vegas Legends visiting Ontario in their first ever playoff matchup. Legends besting them. And then San Diego getting the best of Ontario a couple seasons ago. Goncalves steers it right across the face. Stinson collects to the near side. Ooh, Goncalves around Pereira. I'm so used to seeing Pereira do that to defenders, and Goncalves takes a page out of Pereira's book. Gets around him, but fouled in the end. Restart coming for Ontario, far side boards. Maicon to Charlie Gonzalez. Taiyu Stinson and Uzi Taiyu on the pitch as well. To Stinson along the near side. It is crunch time now. Here in the fourth quarter. Turns the ball over. Caceres promptly turns it back over. And then a foul call there. Man, he had about a mile in front of him to run, did Charlie Gonzalez. Foul call in the end. A restart coming for Tacoma. Waltman, Caceres, Charlie and Nestor pressuring for Ontario. McNeely, switch of the field to Cox. Now Ramos, far side. Cisse, defensively, well done from the captain. Hernandez, 1v1 again. Still, Waltman in the end, loses the ball. Foul call there. Charlie's gonna have to be careful here. That ball found its way off of the boards and the glass into the hands of Waltman. Caceres, the man down on the field right now. Let's see if we get a replay on that bouncing ball there. But it was Hernandez disrupting and Charlie Gonzalez, and then ultimately a miscue from Waltman, but it was whistled dead. And Caceres now getting some attention from their athletic trainer on the field. Looks like it is a right arm injury that I can tell. All tied at 5, 2:31 remaining. What once was a 4-2 Tacoma lead turned into a 5-4 Fury lead. And then most recently, McNeely on a set piece play just blasted through the wall and into the net past Toth to tie things up a handful of minutes ago at 5 apiece. Now Hernandez on the turnover. You have to hurry, Waltman! Sliding attempt there. Keeps the score all tied up. A whistle after Stinson was tangled to the far side boards. Wow! Waltman, save of the game so far. As you see on the replay, Hernandez says, let's see what I can do here. Waltman sprawling out, save of the game. Stinson now with Pacheco near side. Pacheco steered wide. Gonzalez. Maicon, 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. De Abreu, Stinson, Pacheco, Taiyu up top for Ontario. Pacheco. Going around one defender. Maicon with the handball there, whistle dead. Minute 39, restart coming for the visitors. This is what it's all about in the MASL. Close game. Anything can happen here with a minute 39 remaining. Wow, that is a huge call on Maicon. His fourth foul, fans. That equals a 2-minute minor penalty with a minute 39 remaining. Maicon gets his fourth foul. That is huge here with a minute 39 remaining. They'll have to be brilliant on the kill here. Toth barking over orders with his teammates. Hernandez, Gonzalez, Taiyu, and Cisse on the kill here for the Fury. On the power play, McNeely, Pereira, Ramos, Caceres, and it looks like Neagle for the visitors. Man, 1:35, and here we go. De Abreu finding the penalty box after obtaining his 4th foul. That equals a 2-minute minor penalty for Ontario. Ramos for Tacoma. Ontario will have to kill this with 1:15 remaining to have a chance to move the game along. Caceres, Ramos, Pereira. 1 minute and 1:18 remain on the power play for Tacoma. Ramos now. Cisse, well done from the veteran defender and captain Israel Cisse. 45 seconds remain. 1:05 on the power play for Tacoma. Uzi Tayu, possession for Ontario. Gonzalez to Hernandez. Disrupting here. Waltman stays in his net. Hernandez. Now Waltman and Caceres. 25 seconds remain in the quarter. 45 seconds remain on the power play. McNeely to the far side. 15 seconds remain. Pereira. McNeely tees it up just wide. Bouncing ball finds its way out of bounds. 8.6 remain. 29 ticks left on the power play for Tacoma. Not gonna lie, when McNeely teed that up, I was very anxious to see where that would end up. Just wide. Deep ball sent in. 4 seconds now, 3, 2. Toth collects into his hands. We're headed to overtime. 21 seconds remain on the power play. All tied at 5 at the end of regulation. We'll be back in Ontario.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Tacoma opened up the scoring tonight and went up 2-0 early on in tonight's contest, then a 2-1 lead, a 3-1 lead at one point, and then even further 4-2. Then it was 3 unanswered from Ontario, making it a 5-4 game. And then in that fourth quarter, after a set-piece play, McNeely tied it up for Tacoma. Your goal scorers: Ramos, Neagle, Lima, Canale, and McNeely, as you see Hernandez's goal there for Tacoma. Goal scorers for the Ontario Fury: you just saw Nestor Hernandez's goal there, his 10th of the year. Frank Tayu with a pair of goals to tally to his league-leading best, 46. Maicon found the back of the net as well, his 8th of the year. And then Charlie Gonzalez getting his 20th of the season and 76th for the franchise. The franchise leader in goals scored, Charlie Gonzalez, 76. So 21 seconds remain on the De Abreu penalty. On the kill, Cisse, Gonzalez, Hernandez, and Uzi Tayu. It is McNeely, Caceres, Ramos, Pereira, and Neagle for Tacoma. Far side. 10 seconds remain on the power play. Ramos. Gonzalez. Pereira deflected there from Cisse. Foul call on Cisse as the penalty expires. You see Maicon back into the mix here. But a restart coming in a very dangerous position. Golden goal here in overtime. 10-minute frame, 9:38 remaining. Pereira steers it to the near side. McNeely and now Ramos. Pereira laid it off and Uzi Tayu intercepts. Maicon quickly past midfield. Charlie Gonzalez now. 1v1 to the near side. De Abreu! Fingertip save from Waltman. What a beauty from the Tacoma goalkeeper. Maicon inches away, Waltman. So huge, not only in that save, but not too long ago against Nestor Hernandez in that fourth quarter as well. So Waltman keeping things interesting here in the overtime frame. 9 minutes remain here in the golden goal overtime. Topete. Uzi Tayu. Ontario trying to solidify a playoff position. Currently at 11-9 in the third playoff spot in the Western Conference. Deep ball sent in, punched out from Waltman. Settled from Maicon. Near midfield, Toth will play on. Tacoma sitting at 8-10 overall on the outside looking in, trying to get back into the playoff mix. They're still very much alive with 5 games remaining on their schedule. A trio of games against San Diego, who've already solidified a playoff spot, and a pair of games at home against Mesquite to close out their regular season. Ontario will have a home and home against Turlock starting next week, and they'll round out their regular season with an away game down south at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. Deflected off of the foot, I thought off of Antonik, and it will be Ontario Fury ball. Just out of the realms of a corner kick after that deflection. Nonetheless, a restart for Ontario to the far side. Gonzalez. They will utilize a timeout here in the overtime frame. All tied at 5. Back in just a few seconds from Ontario, California.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Ontario will round out their regular season of play next week as they play host to the visiting Turlock Cal Express Friday, March 13th, a local kickoff time of 7:05 p.m. It'll be a home and home the very next day. They'll head up to Turlock Indoor to take on the very same Turlock Cal Express. Winding down the regular season, it started at 0-2. After just the first 2 games, they drew even at 500 at 2-2. And then it was a very difficult stretch of 5 consecutive losses. And then promptly a 6-game winning streak in the middle of it all. In the end, they sit at 11-9. The Ontario Fury trying to create another Ron Newman Cup playoff berth. Would be just their 3rd in franchise history of 7 years of existence. When we come back on the restart, it'll be Gonzalez and Maicon to the far side. Stinson, Tayu, and Hughes also on the field for Ontario. Gonzalez off of the boards. Just off frame for Charlie Gonzalez. Stinson settles near midfield. Under 8 minutes remain now. Much better performance in the half for Ontario after just one goal in that first half. Tacoma defending well against Ontario in that first half, minimizing shot opportunities and quality attempts. Cisse to the far side, off the boards. Man, that was teed up for Taiyu, disrupted defensively from Tacoma. Takes a deflection there, just out of the reach for Taiyu. Stinson, still Stinson, tees it up for Taiyu, and they win! Six to 5, Ontario win in overtime. Stinson there, Taiyu with the finish. A hat trick again for the King, and they win 6 to 5. What a match here tonight. Tacoma did so well defensively against Ontario for majority of the night. Waltman doing all he can there, as you see on the replay. Taiyu a no-doubter after just seconds earlier, just out of the reach. Stinson pitching in, lays it up for Taiyu, and it's all she wrote here from Ontario.
Check.
The MASL scoreboard was littered with action, and what a way to cap it off on a Saturday night in the MASL. A 6-5 overtime victory for the Ontario Fury. Another hat trick for the King, Frank Taiyu. He tallies up his 47th goal of the year to lead the MASL in goals scored. Taiyu and company clawed and scratched their way back after being down 4-2. They took the lead at 5-4. And then again, the winner off of the foot of Frank Taiyu and a 6-5 Ontario Fury victory. Wow! Taiyu just seconds away. We'll have the interview with the hat trick goal scorer here tonight.
Hello?
They killed a very crucial, important penalty at the end of the game and into overtime. Now down to the pitch with the King, Frank Taiyu. A hat trick for Frank Taiyu and the game winner. How you feeling there, Frank?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great. What a feeling, man. We knew after what happened last year, this was the real statement game. You know, we missed out to this team last year, and it was time for us to come back and really show that we mean business. And I thought the boys did that. We started a little bit slow, but that's going to happen. You know, it's a tough league, a lot of games, and your legs get tired. But I like the way we responded.
Yeah, 3-1 at the half. What adjustments did you and the boys have to make to create more momentum for you guys?
Well, we knew statistically the third quarter is the best quarter, and we just had to come out and win that quarter, and that's what we did. So that built momentum for us and confidence. And you know, we stayed in it until the end, and we found a way to win the game.
Well, you guys win the season series against Tacoma. You got 2 more games against Turlock. We take it game by game to solidify a playoff position. What do you guys need to do in the next game here against Turlock?
Well, at this point, you know, we are heading into the playoffs, so every game is a playoff game. It doesn't matter if we play Turlock or we play Baltimore Blast, you know. We have to go out there and take it as serious as possible, put our best foot forward, and build that momentum, because at the end of the day, you know, this is American sport. Once the regular season is over, playoffs start, it doesn't matter what your record was. It's all about what you're doing at the moment.
Great win here tonight. Congrats on the game winner, Frank. Good
Thank
luck
you,
in the
thank
next
you.
game here next week.
Thank you so much.
King Frank Taiyu tallying to his league lead in goals scored at an MASL best 47 now for the King, Frank Taiyu. Man, this was a game for the Record Books fans. It was a lead from the jump from Tacoma. They took a 2-0 early lead into that first half. It was a 3-1 halftime lead for Tacoma. And then very promptly soon after that, it was a 5-4 Ontario Fury lead. And then tied up late in that fourth quarter. And then a game winner from the King, Frank Taiyu. Back and forth and went all night long. They win the season series against Tacoma, and they win an even bigger match here tonight to try and cement a playoff berth in the Ron Newman Cup playoffs here just a handful of weeks away. Final scores across the MASL here tonight. The Baltimore Blast over the Harrisburg Heat 9-5. The Lancers earned their first victory against the Kansas City Comets 9-7. 11-3 Orlando on the losing end against the defending champion Milwaukee Wave, and the Outlaws 11-7 over the Turlock Cal Express. An overtime winner here from Toyota Arena. The Ontario Fury take this one 6-5. As you see the replay here, Frank Taiyu had all the energy there after finishing the game winner past Danny Waltman and the Tacoma Stars. It's been a pleasure and an honor here on MASL TV. So glad you can join us inside Toyota Arena. Next game for the Ontario Fury next Friday the 13th against the Turlock Cal Express. Local kickoff time 7:05 p.m. as we look forward to the last remaining games for the Ontario Fury. For everyone here inside Toyota Arena, my producer Matt Robinson, I'm Brian Tabajay alongside you right here on MASL TV. We'll see you next week from Ontario.
International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, O&T is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, O&T is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why O&T is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.